In today's Farm Report, what does it mean to be actively engaged in farming? That was one question that was brought before the Farm Service Agency, and they have redefined what it means for the eligibility for farm safety net payments. Rod Bain with the U.S. Department of Agriculture has more.
What does it mean to be actively engaged in farming? Today, something different than when this rule associated with farm safety net payments was first enacted in 1987.
The broad definition used since 1987 resulted in various general partnerships and joint ventures adding managers for purposes of receiving a payment, even if those folks weren't providing a substantial contribution to the management of the farm.
And USDA Farm Service Agency Administrator Val Docini says that particular loophole in the farm safety net programs was one that Congress and the Agriculture Department desired to tighten. The end result was a new definition of actively engaged in farming included in the 2014 Farm Bill.
What we've done in this new definition is redefine what it means to provide, quote, a significant contribution of active personal management, and that can happen in a variety of ways. It can be providing management hours to the operation of the farm, it can be providing personal labor, various other things that the rule will contain. But we think that it tightens up the definition of what it means to be actively engaged in farming for purposes of receiving these USDA benefits.
The new definition takes effect for payments for farm programs in 2016 going forward.
These changes do affect the eligibility of folks who are receiving payments for the ARC and PLC programs, for our loan deficiency payment programs, for marketing loan gains.
Eligible growers already planting or that have planted fall crops have until the 2017 crop year to comply. Now, you heard earlier, the new actively engaged in farming definition applies to joint ventures and general partnerships. One important exemption to this new definition is this.
The primary exemption is that a farming operation with all members who are family members are not subject to the provisions of this rule.
Local Farm Service Agency offices have information available on the new actively engaged in farming definition and what it means in terms of eligibility to farm program payments. Details on the revised definition are also available online at www.fsa.usda.gov. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
2015's winding down, and so are supermarket beef prices. We have a couple of pieces of evidence about that. First, Agriculture Department economist Anne-Marie Coons gave us the latest consumer price index information for beef. Those figures are for November. They show
we paid 1.4% less for beef and veal from October to November, and 1.3% less from November of 2014.
That's all cuts of beef averaged together. The USDA's Outlook Board tracks a composite price just for choice beef, and livestock analyst Sheo Shagam gave us the November average price,
which was about $6.21, which was down a little bit more than 1% from November of 2014. We do expect to see some of that pressure continue, further declines in retail prices during December.
So maybe Santa can afford to put some steaks in our stockings this year. And for the coming year, Shagam expects choice beef prices to average around $6.25 a pound,
down from about $6.30 in 2015.
In Washington, Gary Crawford for the U.S. Department of Agriculture.